Okay. Yeah, she's seen better days. So, what's the problem? Well, this is the big one. Anybody that knows 6.0s, these V8 diesels from Ford, you know, if you look after them, they'll last a while. Yeah, it's kind of dirty, but it's a work truck. It has little seeps and leaks in here, but it was running good. And then this dreaded 6.0 long-term problem showed up. It's at 360,000 kilometers. So that might indicate to the 6.0 guys what's going on here. And I'm looking sort of directly at it, but not quite, because you can't see it because it's so far down in there. It's called a high pressure oil pump. It's what runs the engine. Not like normal oil pumps, you know, just lubrication. This is what runs the injectors. It runs at about 3,500 psi. Up on the injectors, like, the oil's a hell of a lot higher pressure, but at the pump it's creating between 3,000 and 4,000 pounds depending on the load. Well, the pump's given up. It's been kind of effing and hopping and whatever, but it's finally stroked its last stroke. The engine's still good, but the pump's done. Not cheap. It's $1,000 for the pump, and then you get 300 back for the core. So yeah, it's a 700 and something buck fix. The hard part is everything's got to come out, because the oil pump is down between the heads in the valley. So the turbo's got to come off, the filter housing, intake manifold, the EGR, everything's got to come out of here to get to it. That's why it costs well over $1,000 in labor to get it done. And true, me, oh yeah, look like a butt. Yeah, gonna save the $1,000 and have a go at her. We've done everything else to this truck, so I might as well do this. So I'll bring you back when you get tore in. Maybe I'll try one of these. How about... No, it hasn't changed. Okay, try this hand, maybe this hand. Hey! Well, that sure saves some time. Yeah, not really. This is 6 hours later. So, that's where the pump lives. Pipe connects to the pump. Cover goes over the pump. Pedestal goes over the cover. The EGR, exhaust gas recirculation cooler, sits here. Intake manifold sits here. Turbo sits there. Filter sits there. Lots of spare parts. So here's the new pump. So lots of spare parts. So that's a cover. Nice big for you guys with your little walk cars. Yeah, this is a variable geometry turbo, so that gives you an idea. Yeah, as you can see, second blades back in there. Yeah, that's because this thing adjusts the blades for whatever you're doing, so you can load her up. So yeah, that's the intake manifold, and that's the exhaust gas, the circulation cooler tube guy thing. A lot of people just delete that, but I'm not touching it. There's nothing wrong with it right now. Turbo pedestal, boost pipes, just a whole bunch of spare parts. So yeah, that in there. And that's a great thing. You see these great big trucks, but yet half the motor is under the landing panel, the windshield and dash. And then there's all this space up here. I never get that. It just bugs the shit out of me. Pardon my French. So yeah, I got a whole bunch to do at the back there. That was one of the jobs that I had done previously to this, which is another killer of these trucks, is the IPR. That's what it is, the IPR sensor. Because it lives back there underneath the exhaust on the intake manifold behind the turbo. So you pretty much have to do it at the end of your fingertips over everything, or from underneath reaching up into the back. So you have to make tools or buy the special tools or blah 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 blah. So it where the heck is it? Oh, there it is there. That's it. Sitting here in front of me right now. But when that goes home, it's there. So yeah, you have to figure out how the heck this all goes back together. So yeah, there's 3 wiring harnesses. You got all your subsidiary stuff, and then there's another harness that's just for all the injectors, which are these guys in there. It also plugs into the computer module, which is that guy, that's a new one because I replaced that, because that's another prone problem to these guys. So yeah, the big thing is never drop anything down these holes, because that starts your journey to the center of the earth, as in valves and pistons. So yeah, you learn that quickly. Anyway, bring you back when she's done. I'm not going to click her fingers because I'm not joking around. So here we go. In you go. Go on. In you go. Hammer. Get it. Okay. So, bad news. After all of that, put everything back in, there wasn't even any spare parts. Topped up all the fluids, did have a slight leak. There was a coolant leak down next to the EGR cooler. It was actually an O-ring that had got sort of flipped out of its little doohickey. So, dropped half of the coolant back out, took the plate off, which is underneath the turbo, well, underneath the intake on the turbo, and reset the O-ring, put it back together, topped it up, fluids, good, no leaks, all the rest of it. Turning over, no fire. So, I knew the oil pump was on its way out because the trucks had issues, but there's something else going on. I don't have time to deal with this, so this is going to have to be continued. This truck will get taken to the local garage here. It's a Dodge dealership, but they do anything. Most of those guys working on any kind of trucks. So they'll put their scan tools onto this. I have a feeling it's a bad fuel pump in the tank. I haven't done this one. I did that one, so I know that one has good fuel pumps and all that stuff. I have a sneaking suspicion that's what this is, but I do not have time. Because I don't know if you'll have seen the video by now or it'll be coming next. The swather. I've got the new parts for the disc spine header. It will go together, and I've got to get cutting the rest of my hay because the barley for this year's harvest 2020 is ready. So this part is done. Look at that, spick and sparkle clean. Yeah, that was a success, but failure as well. No go, no fire. Turns over like a bugger, there's no leaks, all the rest of it's all good. Yeah, I'm changing out this air intake, that's why this is incomplete. I'm not bothered putting that back in because it's an absolute bugger to fight with. So this is just to, I gotta drag it over to the dealership with this on it just now until I get the new part. So hopefully the next time you see this, it will have whatever little niggles bothering it fixed. So sad to say, no success story completely, but this is done. My first time doing an in-depth into a Power Stroke engine as far as this one. Seemed to go okay, learned a lot of lessons. Saved a couple of grand in that notion, but I'm waiting to see what this next part will cost me, but shouldn't be as much. Fingers crossed. So, tune in for the next one. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button, and see you in the next one. Tidy bye.